Before you celebrate the rumored camera overhaul on the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8, take a breath. These leaks don't add up to the revolution the headlines promise. They read like classic spec sheet bait, not a meaningful leap for real-world photography on a foldable. Let's break it down. The rumor mill says the Galaxy Z Fold 8, codenamed Q8, upgrades 2 cameras. A jump from a 12MP ultrawide to a 50MP ultrawide. And a telephoto bump from 10MP to 12MP, still stuck at 3x optical zoom. Meanwhile, the 200MP main, the 10MP inner selfie, and the 10MP cover camera reportedly stay the same. Another leak points to an H8 variant, possibly a wider fold, getting the same 50MP ultrawide treatment. Now here's why that upgrade story falls apart. 50MP ultrawide doesn't guarantee better photos. What matters most is sensor size, lens quality, aperture, autofocus, and edge-to-edge sharpness, not megapixels. Many 50MP ultrawide sensors bend down to 12.5MP anyway. Without a larger sensor, faster glass, and reliable AF for close-up macro, you're just getting bigger files, not cleaner images. On foldables, ultrawide lenses already fight distortion and soft corners. Slapping more pixels onto the spec sheet won't fix optical limitations in a thin chassis. 12MP telephoto at 3x is a rounding error. Moving from 10MP to 12MP is a minor change you won't notice in day-to-day shots, especially if the optical zoom is still capped at 3x. The industry's meaningful jump is to 5x or a dual tele setup, 3x plus 5x. With strong OIS and fast AF, Samsung really wanted a headline camera shift. We'd be hearing about a periscope module, larger sensor behind the tele, or a variable optical system, not a 2-megapixel nudge. The unchanged 200MP primary hints at status quo, not a breakthrough. If the Fold 7 already moved to 200MP, keeping it on Fold 8 is not news, it's maintenance. Real progress would be a larger sensor, a brighter aperture, improved lens coatings to combat flare on the inner and cover glass, and a next-gen ISP tune for better texture preservation and less over-sharpening. None of that shows up in these leaks. Selfie camera staying at 10MP is a missed opportunity. With Samsung's S-series already using 12MP or higher, holding Fold 8 at 10MP for both inner and cover camera suggests cost control, not camera leadership. On a device built for content creation, productivity, and video calls, selfie and inner display cameras matter a lot. If the under-display camera remains constrained, that's the bottleneck you'll feel every day. Price under $2,000 is not a free pass. If the justification for keeping key cameras unchanged is price, consumers deserve context. Foldable buyers aren't chasing bargains, they're paying for innovation. Minor bumps to ultrawide and telephoto don't justify a new year. Flagship asks if the images look the same once you leave the spec sheet. The H8 rumor muddies the waters, not clarifies them. A wider Z Fold variant reportedly getting the same 50MP ultrawide undermines the narrative that the Q8 changes are premium or exclusive. If both SKS share the same camera tweaks, this looks more like parts bin standardization than a halo camera push. And the not an FE angle? That's marketing chess, not proof of a true imaging overhaul. Here's the reality the leaks don't address. Sensor size greater than megapixel count. A bigger, higher quality sensor with a brighter aperture on ultrawide and telephoto would change your photos. More pixels without more light and better glass won't. Autofocus on ultrawide is a must. If Samsung doesn't add reliable AF, macro flexibility, and edge sharpness to the ultrawide, the extra megapixels won't fix soft corners or smudgy textures. 3x is not competitive for a 2026 foldable flagship. Apple, Google, and Samsung's own Ultra line have already set a 5x benchmark. A foldable this premium needs either a periscope 5x, a dual tele setup, or a smarter hybrid pipeline that doesn't crumble past 10x. Inner display camera quality is still the elephant in the room. If the under-display or inner selfie experience doesn't improve significantly, creators and power users will keep defaulting to the cover camera, defeating the promise of a seamless tablet-first experience. Computational photography carries the day. Without a new ISP, broader dynamic range, reduced noise stacking, better motion processing, and a refined tone curve, the look of your images won't change much even with spec bumps. If Samsung truly wanted to outshine Apple's rumored 2026 foldable iPhone, these are the camera moves that would actually matter. A larger ultra-wide sensor with autofocus macro capability and better corner performance, a periscope 5x telephoto with larger pixels, strong OIS, and clean hybrid zoom to 10x, a brighter main lens with improved coatings and less flare on both inner and outer glass, a next-gen ISP with smarter HDR and texture preservation, plus low-light tone mapping that doesn't smear detail, a significantly improved inner selfie under-display camera, or a clever way to route the primary camera for high-quality selfies without friction until we see those. The Z Fold 8 camera upgrade leaks look like incremental housekeeping dressed up as a headline. A 50MP ultra-wide and a 12MP3X telephoto are not the kind of moves that redefine a $2,000 class foldable in 2026. They're the kind of moves that keep a spec table tidy while the real imaging priority sensor size, optics, autofocus, computational processing, and inner camera quality wait for another year. So if you're weighing the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 based on these leaks, don't wait for proof of meaningful optical changes, real-world samples, and a telephoto story that goes beyond 3x. Until then, this feels less like a camera revolution and more like a placeholder dressed in megapixels.